The first time I realized my own department wanted to destroy me was the night Captain Howard locked the station doors behind me. It was almost midnight. Rain crashed against the windows while the entire building sat in silence. I had just finished copying evidence files from an illegal bribery case when the lights inside the detective office suddenly shut off. One by one. Darkness swallowed the room. Then I heard footsteps behind me. Slow, heavy, deliberate. My heart started pounding. "Still working late, Officer Cole?" Captain Howard's voice echoed through the dark office. I turned slowly. 3 officers stood behind him. Daniels, Morris, and Lieutenant Burns. None of them looked happy. Howard folded his arms calmly. "You've been asking dangerous questions lately." I forced myself to stay calm. "I'm doing my job." Howard smiled. "No, you're becoming a problem." The thunder outside exploded so loudly the windows shook. Then Daniels stepped closer and threw a thick folder onto the desk in front of me. My own personnel file. Suspension papers already prepared. False complaints. Fake reports. Witness statements that never happened. They had planned everything. And suddenly I understood something terrifying. This wasn't corruption anymore. This was a system. And I was standing alone in the middle of it. Before this story continues, subscribe if you enjoy emotional revenge stories filled with betrayal, suspense, and shocking justice. Because what happened after this moment destroyed an entire police department. My name is Rachel Cole, 34 years old, Detective Division, and for 8 years, I spent every day trying to prove I belonged in a department that never truly respected women, especially women who refused to stay quiet. Captain Howard hated that about me. Not openly, not publicly. Men like him are smarter than that. Instead, he used small humiliations. Rachel's too emotional. Rachel overreacts. Rachel doesn't understand politics. Little comments, little insults. Over time, those things slowly wear you down. But I ignored it, because I believed good officers still existed. And honestly, after my divorce, the department became my entire life. My younger brother Tyler was the only family I had left. I helped pay for his college. I worked double shifts constantly. Sometimes I slept inside my car between cases. I sacrificed everything for that badge. And somehow, that made their betrayal hurt even more. Because the moment I discovered Captain Howard's corruption, everyone I worked beside suddenly became a stranger. 3 weeks before my suspension, I stayed late finishing reports. The station was nearly empty. That's when I noticed Howard's office light still on. At first, I ignored it. But then I heard voices, arguing. I walked closer quietly. A businessman named Victor Kane stood inside the office. I recognized him immediately. Rich construction owner. Multiple complaints. Unsafe buildings. Bribery rumors everywhere. Yet somehow, he never got investigated. Then I saw Kane place a black duffel bag beside Howard's desk. The zipper opened slightly. Stacks of cash. Howard looked completely relaxed, like this happened all the time. Then Kane laughed quietly. "As long as inspections disappear, everybody stays happy." My stomach dropped. I accidentally bumped the hallway cart beside me. The sound echoed. Both men looked toward the door instantly. Fear shot through my body. I walked away fast before they could open it. But later that night, Howard stopped beside my desk. "You work too hard, Rachel." I looked up slowly. "You should go home earlier." His eyes stayed locked on mine, cold, watching, warning me. And right there, I realized he knew I saw something. After that night, strange things started happening. My locker was searched. Case files disappeared. Someone deleted reports from my computer. Then the anonymous calls started. Heavy breathing, silence, click, every single night. Tyler noticed I stopped sleeping. "You look exhausted." "I'm fine." "You're lying." I smiled weakly. But the truth? I was terrified. Because deep down, I knew corrupt people become dangerous when they feel exposed. Then one night while driving home, a black SUV started following me. No headlights, just sitting behind me quietly for 6 straight blocks. My hands tightened around the steering wheel. The SUV finally pulled beside me at a red light. Officer Daniels sat inside, smiling. Then he slowly pointed 2 fingers toward his eyes, before driving away. Watching you. That's what it meant. That night I barely slept at all. And by morning, things got worse. Internal Affairs arrived at my desk Monday morning. The entire station watched silently. I'll never forget that feeling. Dozens of people pretending not to stare while your life collapses. Officer Rachel Cole, the investigator said coldly. You are under investigation for evidence tampering. I almost laughed from shock. What? You're suspended immediately. Captain Howard stood near the hallway drinking coffee, smiling calmly. Like this was routine. Like destroying careers meant nothing to him anymore. My badge was taken. My firearm surrendered. Security escorted me outside. And somehow, that humiliation hurt more than the fear. Reporters waited outside the station. Someone leaked the story before I even reached the parking lot. Officer Cole, are corruption allegations true? Did you tamper with evidence? Are more arrests coming? Cameras flashed everywhere. I felt sick. That night, Tyler looked furious. You need a lawyer. No. Rachel. They're hiding something. You can't fight the entire department. I looked at the hidden flash drive sitting beside my kitchen sink. The recordings, the files, the evidence, and quietly, I answered, watch me. I started secretly recording conversations weeks earlier. Tiny recorder inside my jacket, backup files hidden online. At first, it felt paranoid. Then it became survival. One evening, I followed Howard after work. He drove to an abandoned warehouse near the harbor. Victor Kane arrived minutes later. I hid behind stacked shipping containers while rain poured across the pavement. And then, I heard everything. Bribes, threats, destroyed evidence. Howard even admitted several officers were helping him bury investigations. My hands shook while recording. Because suddenly, this wasn't just corruption anymore. People died because unsafe buildings stayed approved. Families got hurt. And the department protected it all. Then I stepped backward accidentally. Crack! A loose pipe snapped beneath my shoe. Silence. Howard turned instantly. Who's there? Panic exploded through my body. Flashlights scanned the darkness. I ran. Fast. Footsteps thundered behind me. Someone yelled, "Get her!" Rain blinded me while I sprinted through the harbor. I nearly slipped twice. Finally, I climbed a fence and escaped into traffic. By the time I reached my apartment, I could barely breathe. Tyler opened the door and froze. Rachel, what happened? I looked at him with shaking hands. I think they're going to destroy me. 2 days later, someone unexpected contacted me. Maria Benson, retired internal affairs detective. We met inside a small diner outside the city. Maria studied me quietly. Then she said something that changed everything. You're not the first officer Howard buried. Cold chills ran through my body. What do you mean? Maria leaned closer. For years, officers tried exposing him. What happened to them? One resigned. One disappeared from law enforcement completely. And another? Maria looked down sadly. Alcohol destroyed his life. I felt sick. Howard wasn't just corrupt. He was protected. Maria helped me organize the evidence, financial transfers, building complaints, deleted reports, witness intimidation. Everything connected perfectly. And the deeper we dug, the uglier the truth became. Howard had been protecting Victor Kane's company for years in exchange for money. Unsafe buildings, fake inspections, threats, destroyed cases. And anyone who got close to the truth? Silenced. Maria finally looked at me seriously. If you continue this, they'll come after everything you love. I thought about Tyler, our apartment, my career, my future. Then I answered quietly, they already did. 3 nights later, Tyler disappeared. He didn't answer calls, didn't answer texts, nothing. Panic consumed me instantly. I drove across the city searching everywhere. Then finally, Tyler called from an unknown number. His voice sounded terrified. Rachel, they took my phone. My blood froze. Who? I don't know. 2 men stopped me outside campus. Fear exploded inside me. Where are you? They told me to warn you. I gripped the steering wheel so hard my hands hurt. What did they say? Tyler's voice cracked. They said if you don't stop digging, things get worse. The line disconnected. That moment changed me completely. Because corruption is one thing, but threatening my family? That crossed the line. And from that second forward, I stopped trying to save my career. I focused on destroying theirs. Maria created the plan. We need Howard admitting everything publicly. That'll never happen. He thinks he already won. She smiled slightly. That makes people careless. I called Howard the next morning. I want to make a deal. Long silence. Then Howard laughed softly. Smart decision. We arranged a meeting inside an abandoned warehouse near the river, exactly where corrupt men feel untouchable. But Howard didn't know federal investigators were already involved. Hidden cameras surrounded the building, audio equipment everywhere. When Howard arrived, he looked relaxed, confident, like a man who believed fear controlled everyone. You should have stayed quiet, Rachel. You ruined my life. No, he replied calmly. You ruined your own. Then he stepped closer. You were a good officer once. I stared directly at him. How many people did you destroy? He smirked. Enough to survive. That confession changed everything. Floodlights exploded across the warehouse. Federal agents, don't move! Howard's face lost all color instantly. Daniels tried running. Agents tackled him immediately. And for the first time, Captain Howard looked afraid. The arrests became national news overnight. Corruption, bribery, destroyed investigations, illegal intimidation. The city exploded. Reporters surrounded the station daily. Officers who once ignored me suddenly wanted interviews. Public apologies appeared everywhere. Funny how fast people switch sides when power collapses. But honestly, none of it fixed the damage. I still woke up anxious some nights, still checked mirrors while driving home, still struggled trusting people, because betrayal changes you permanently. A month later, the department offered me my badge back. Captain position, higher salary, public apology. I refused all of it. Tyler stared at me shocked. You're really walking away? I smiled quietly. I already gave them enough of my life. Instead, Maria and I started helping expose misconduct cases privately. And for the first time in years, I finally felt free. People think courage means never feeling fear. That's a lie. Real courage means feeling terrified and refusing to surrender anyway. Captain Howard believed power made him untouchable. But corrupt people always make the same mistake. They think silence lasts forever. Eventually, someone speaks. And when the truth finally comes out, even the strongest systems collapse. If you enjoyed this emotional revenge story, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more dramatic betrayal and justice stories every week. And tell me honestly in the comments, would you risk everything to expose corruption?